Welcome to this Gaugemaster Analog GMC-Q 4-track case controller. I wanted to give many of you a chance to actually have a pretty in-depth look at this unique controller that lets you control up to 4 separate tracks or 4 separate modules at a time. It's normally built for N scale or HO scale, but they do custom orders, and I made this custom order for Z scale. So this will allow me to power my locomotives, and in order to do that, they've limited the voltage to about 9 volts. You can see me taking the controller out, and it's a really handsome piece of kit. It's a 4-in-1 controller, obviously, so you have the 4 dials. You get a screwdriver, which they put in the box. This lets you unscrew the connections at the back for the 4 sets of pieces of wire that they also give to you when you buy this unit. That's a unit from the front, and then we are now looking at the side. And then as I turn it over, these are the connections to the 4 pieces of track that you would have. Now I would say probably the only disadvantage about this unit, you can see here the 9 volt limitations here on purpose for Z scale. The only disadvantage I would say about the unit is if you flip it up right and you look from it from below, this is how you actually attach the wires. Now this can obviously be a bit inconvenient if you have it permanently connected to a layout. So what I suggest you do is actually pre-attach the wires and then buy one of these really affordable wire connection bits from your local hardware store. And this is how it looks out of the box. So let's get it wired up, and once you have the unit turned on, you'd see 4 red LEDs to just give you the impression that all 4 units are fine, they're working. And as you slowly turn the dial, you'd notice the LED actually change color from a red to kind of like a yellow orange color. I've seen some reviews of it apparently going to green. Mine never seems to do so. May have to do with the fact that the voltage is limited, but in truth it really has no functional differences to me, and that really doesn't affect any kind of performances. So that's just something to share with you. Maybe the other thing to share with you is that the dials are actually really quite smooth to turn. It's not too tight and it's not too loose as well. The next step is to actually compare how the controller works with the Marklin standard white transformer. I have my 460 Casey Jones locomotive paired up, and you just saw the Marklin transformer making it run forwards and back, and now we have the same transformer by Gaugemaster. Now I would honestly say, just as a rough test of this going backwards and forwards, I've heard and read quite a lot of disparaging remarks about the standard of the Marklin transformer, and I actually have to say that that's not really strictly true. I actually found that the slow speed performance of the transformer not bad actually. As you can see, it can go really quite well and quite slowly. Perhaps the big difference is the fact that the voltage output seems to very much be on a stepped approach. So that gives the impression that the locomotive is pretty jittery. You know, when you start it up, it actually has almost like a dead stop, or it jerks to life, and that gives the impression that the transformer isn't very smooth, as you can see here. I would say that the Gaugemaster one is good, very good at slow speed, but what it really seems to stand out with is how smooth you can actually get the locomotive to start off and to decelerate as well. As you can see, I've just started it off, and it's a very smooth start, so it doesn't appear to jerk to life the same way the Marklin one does. The next step I did is to mark off a 30 cm piece of track on my test track, as you can see here, and I'm going to run some Marklin locomotives just to try and see how they do in terms of timing and how slow they can actually go according to fixed set of timing. This is a 5-pole diesel locomotive, followed by the Swiss RE460, but this is actually a 3-pole motor, so it is pretty sluggish to get going as well. And now we are back with the very nice 460, going first forwards, now backwards, and it just runs quite smoothly, as you can see. But if you think that's smooth, I would say the real champion is this guy. This is the Marklin mallet. You can still find these locomotives here, and all driving wheels are powered on this unit, which really gives it an incredible ability to go really slow, as you can see here. I believe this is called the GT 2x4x4, and it's a heavy steam locomotive. So how did they do in the timings? Well, you can see here in order of how they appear it to you as well. The slowest time I could get the diesel locomotive was 20 seconds, which is not bad. The 3-pole motor obviously didn't fare too well, under 10 seconds. You can see that the 460, from its smooth going, did well, but look at that mallet. So I hope this was helpful for you. We've done a quick check of the transformer, we've compared it to Marklin, we've compared it on a test track, but I wanted to actually let you see the locomotive actually powering one of my modules, and to actually see, you can do a lot of testings, but the real time, the rubber meets the road is when it goes through turnouts, and it does appear to do that pretty well. I normally seem to be able to run between the 30 to 40 unit, and that seems to work pretty well for me as well. And just a quick update before I go. I apologize for the jerkiness as well, but I just wanted to give you a quick update before I end this review to actually show you the transformer hooked up in my train room and actually running 3 separate locomotives on my various modules, and it seems to be able to do the job well. So I hope this was helpful to you, and thanks for watching this review.